Hello everyone, welcome to this session. My name is Syed Amjad. I am an ACCA member and attorney at law. I'm practicing as a legal consultant. I'm an OBU mentor as well, Oxford Brookes University mentor. I'm working with VIFHE right now. Today I'm excited to introduce you to a valuable opportunity to ACCA, especially the aspiring accountants. This is an ACCA OBU program. It's a unique collaboration between ACCA and Oxford Brookes University that allows the accountants to earn a prestigious BSc honors degree in applied accounting and finance. In this presentation, I'll be exploring you the benefits of this qualification for accountants, you guys, along with the eligibility requirements, and not just the eligibility requirements, I'll be discussing how you can complete this project. I'm giving you a brief overview of how this program actually works. So before going into it, let's discuss. It's actually a fast track to your accounting career. ACCA OBU program offers multiple advantages to the accountants. First and the most important of it is you will be a graduate with a bachelor's in accounting and finance. You got a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance from an esteemed and well-reputed university, Oxford Brookes University. This qualification will be recognized by the employers across globe. So it is important to understand what you are gaining out of this qualification. Again, not just valued by the professional employers, but again, it will help the accountants, especially ACCAs, to stand out in the market when they are exploring for the job opportunities. For sure, it will give you a competitive edge, you students, competitive edge. Again, a professional qualification like ACCA and a university qualification like Oxford Brookes University will help the students to gain multiple aspects of the knowledge. I'll be exploring this aspect later in the presentation, but you need to understand here that you will be gaining much more extra knowledge when you are opting for Oxford Brookes University. So it will help you out in exploring further educational aspects. Again, ACCA and OBU collaboration is going to end in 2026, May 2026. So you have a very close window open right now for you guys to opt into this program. Again, you are going to unlock your future potential with ACCA OBU program. You can earn a globally recognized BSc degree from a renowned university, as I already discussed. Your knowledge and skills would be enhanced just beyond the ACCA exams. You will be looking into the practical scenarios. Competitive edge you'll be gaining, but again, I told you this is a limited opportunity for the students because this program is going to end in 2026, May 2026. So how a student can apply for Oxford Brookes University degree, bachelor's degree, especially for international students. So the most important thing is what are the entry requirements. Then we'll be discussing further that how you can gain this qualification, how you can go into the basic criteria. So number one, you need to complete your applied and skilled exams, especially including financial reporting, audit and assurance, and financial management. So last 3 papers of your, you can say it's skills exam. Now, here important thing is, these skill exams are really important. The 3 last skills exams are really important for you guys, that you must have passed those exams. If you have taken an exemption for these exams, then you guys are not eligible to opt for Oxford Brookes University. So to become an individual or to become eligible for Oxford Brookes University degree program, you must have to appear for financial reporting, audit and assurance, and financial management. Now, if you have taken out the exemptions, you must ensure that you have withdrawn those exemptions before opting for Oxford Brookes University degree, right? Then you need to complete ethics and professional skill modules, that's named as EPSM. You got your eligibility done if you are only done with EPSM module. The third and most important thing is you must have maintained your ACCA subscriptions. This is on the financial side of ACCA. But just to give you an idea that why all these requirements are important, because Oxford Brookes University ensures that you have a good illustration and of your immediate knowledge. You need to understand that you are up to date with the knowledge base. So for that matter, Oxford Brookes University has ensured that you might have either passed or gained the exemptions of the 6 papers of the knowledge level or skill level. This is really important to understand. Then you must have ensured that you have your CPD's requirements up to date. You have successfully completed applied skills or strategic professional exams within the 5 years of submitting the research and analysis project. So you need to sure about it that within 5 years of passing your skill exams, for example, you have done with your F9 paper, and now you're going to opt for your Oxford Brookes University program, so degree program, a thesis. So you must have passed your paper in the last 5 years, the last paper you have passed, right? So this is the basic idea that OBU wants you to be updated with the knowledge. Then either you have passed a strategic paper, a applied skills paper, right? Any of the strategic professional papers, and within 5 years of passing that paper, you must have opted for Oxford Brookes University. And if you're a qualified accountant, it means you are a professional member, full member of ACCA. It doesn't mean that this opportunity is not for you guys. If you are a member, then even you can opt for Oxford Brookes University, considering the fact that you have a 1 year of good standing with ACCA. Like, for example, a student or a member who was not paying his or her subscriptions, and now he started paying his or her subscription. So he must have to wait for 1 year, at least 1 year, to ensure that he has a good standing with ACCA before opting for Oxford Brookes University, because this is something, an eligibility requirement adjusted, or eligibility requirement set up by Oxford Brookes University. So you need to ensure that these requirements must be met. Then we need to understand what is ACCA OBU research project, RAP project. What is it actually? So research analysis project is a virtual component that Oxford Brookes University allows professional accountancy body students to opt in, exclusively ACCA. Okay, then you need to prepare your research report where you show critical thinking and your analysis skills, especially in accountancy contexts. Once you have completed your RAP, with the demonstration that you have ability to apply the accounting knowledge to the real world scenarios, which was then evaluated by the Oxford Brookes University examiner, then you will gain Oxford Brookes University degree from OBU, bachelor's degree from OBU. Now, you need to understand what actually a RAP is. This research analysis report, if you are submitting your project for the very first time, you have to prepare at least 5 files. The first file is related to the financials. Now, I'm specific to a topic. We are understanding the aspect that we have to create financials of a company in an Excel file where we need to calculate ratios and graphs. So with these ratios and graphs, you need to ensure that you are actually preparing yourself a basic idea about the application of accountancy models. Then you need to complete a research analysis project, a Word file. In this file, you need to ensure that you have completed your project. This project is actually consisting of 3 basic sections. Section 1, I'll be discussing about this section in the later part of the presentation. Then the third file is skill learning statement. We'll be discussing about these files later in the session, but right now just to give you an overview of Oxford Brookes University Research Analysis Project, right? Okay. Then once you're done, this skill learning statement word count totals 2000 words. You have a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation file where you need to present your research findings in a single file. You need to understand there should be at least 15 slides, so you can be presenting your data or presenting your files, your research to your mentor. Then the last file is about the reference file. This file actually contains data which is collected from the research analysis project file, that is research analysis project, where you have actually updated your references, and based on those references, you were actually applying the knowledge to those scenarios. Okay, now most important thing another is selection criteria for ACC OBU RAP topics. So another important section for students to understand how these topics should be selected and how we are going to account for these topics. So you need to select a topic that actually aligns with your interest and career aspiration. Now, what you want to be in future, what specific part of accountancy profession you have an interest to opt for. Then you need to ensure you should be choosing the topic where you find penalty of research resources. So if you have a limited research resources available for a specific topic, that's going to create a problem for you guys, because this is a research project. For example, if you focus on some primary objectives or some primary research topics, it means you must have to access to the internal aspects of the company. Now there comes another issue, that once you have access to the internal data of the company, you must have to ensure that you should not be breaching a confidentiality clause. Being an ACC accountant, we are ethically bound by certain clauses. Ethics is among that. Confidentiality is among the ethics responsibility of an accountant. So when you have access to the internal uh, data of the company, you need to have a sense that which data account for as a confidential information, and I cannot disclose such information in my research analysis project. So these are few aspects that we need to understand before selecting a specific topic. Then you need to understand the complexity of the topic. If the topic is far more complex than what you expected, then I would recommend don't choose that topic. I would understand the topic should be challenging one, but you need to ensure that it is manageable within the time frame. If you cannot manage that project because of its toughness, because of its complexity, you should avoid picking up such topic. ACCA and OBU collaboration, or we can say Oxford Brookes University has allowed around 15 topics, out of which you can choose one and you can complete your Oxford Brookes University project. With this wrap, you will get plenty of opportunities to learn new knowledge, to learn new skills, including researching skills, analytical skills, critical thinking process. So these are few of the skills that you will be obtaining once you opt for ACCA OBU. Okay, just completing the RAF file doesn't mean that you have now eligible to obtain a bachelor degree from Oxford Brookes University. Your project would be evaluated by the examiner, as already mentioned. So you need to ensure that your accounting and professional skills so much being applied to the project that it must have obtained the passing grades for your project. This would be the last thing I'm going to discuss about what is the role of Oxford Brookes University mentor in it. But let's discuss about how we can manage out our. Before going into this, I'm going to tell you a few things. I think this file is not shared with you. I'll be just sharing with you the topics that ACCA has listed down, the Oxford Brookes University has listed down, that what topics were there that you can opt for those topics. Okay, let me share these topics with you and then I'll be looking further into those aspects. This is Oxford Brookes University information pack. And from this information pack, you will be getting some additional information out of it, that how we can select the topics. Okay, so this is the list of around 15 topics provided by Oxford Brookes University. So I'm just going to highlight these topic areas. The first topic is analyze, evaluate the impact of business and financial performance of an organization, about its management system. Again, you need to understand the budgetary control system, costing techniques, environmental performance management. So this topic area exclusively works on internal knowledge of the company. So again, it was already mentioned, access to the internal generated information is essential. Primary data collection may be enable you to evaluate the impact. So for every topic, you will be provided with some additional information that you need, that you have to ensure that you have access to that information. So if you don't have access to the internal information of the company, then topic 1 is not for you. Remember, not even topic 1, again, not topic 2. Analyze and evaluate the impact, positive or negative, for internal digital or technological innovations on the operational and financial performance of the organization. Areas that could be considered new business processes, softwares, hardware. So again, if you look into the main aspect, internally generated information. If you don't have access to internally generated information, I would recommend don't go for these topics. Then topic 3 is again somehow, I think, no, this is related to information, external information available to you guys, legislation, industry sector regulation, taxation policy, accounting standards. What the topic area is, you need to analyze and evaluate the impact of financial performance of an organization of recent changes imposed by the regulatory environment. So you can evaluate these aspects, but again, this is one of the technical area where most of the time, being a subcontinent student, we don't find information, or it would be far more technical for the students to look into this aspect. But again, if you have an interest in legislation, in legal aspects, in industry regulation and taxation policies, accounting policies, so any policies those were developed by the legislators and imposed on the business sector, how those policies has impacted the organization, that's main idea for topic number 3. Then there is topic number 4, which is again topic number 3. If you can look into the details, a recent change is one that has been introduced in the last 2 years. Publicly available information could be used. Your evaluation must consider the financial performance without the regulatory changes and the financial performance having applied to the change to the same period. Now, you need to critically evaluate what impacts have been reported due to the regulatory changes. That could be that the regulator might have imposed restrictions from producing certain goods, or allowed the company to produce certain goods that might have a positive or a negative impact on the business operations. So you need to evaluate both of these two things. You cannot evaluate a single aspect. Topic number 4 is analyze and evaluate the business financial performance of an organization which had performed exceptionally poor over the past 3 periods, with a critical analysis of the reasons for its difficulties. I would say this is among the most important and most chosen topic areas. Most chosen topic area, because students mostly focus on these ratio analysis part. This topic is specifically related to the ratio analysis, the financial analysis of the company. If you are thinking that topic 3 is not part of it, topic 3 is again part of the same thing, but it has different dimension areas. Topic 4, topic 5, and topic 8, I think. These are the 3 basic topics. Those are related to the ratio analysis with different aspect areas. Now let's see. Topic 8 is you need to analyze and evaluate business and financial performance over a 3-year period of an organization operating in a sector that has faced strategic and operational challenges. Now, here a difference. Topic number 4 is actually the financial analysis. Financial analysis. This topic 5 actually look into the company which has performed poorly in past 3 years, poorly within the industry sector. So you need to select a company that has performed poorly in the last 3 years. Now, topic 5 is about, again, the performance or financial analysis of a company but that has performed extremely well in the past 3 years. So this topic 5 has some different directions extremely well. Topic 8, on the other hand, look into some other aspects. A company that has faced strategic and operational challenges. Strategic and operational challenges. And your analysis focus must be, or your research focus must be on how the management has efficiently addressed those challenges, including both strategic and operational. So, topic 4, topic 5, and topic 8 are related to financial analysis of the company, but with different aspects. Okay, I'm not looking into the rest of the topics. I've just given you an idea. If you are interested in any specific topic, I'll be providing you the guidelines further on those topics. But these are the hot topic areas which are most of the time picked up by the students and for the analysis. Now, the most important part which I want to ensure that you must be aware of it is the grading section. You can look into this grading section, but I want to share some other and most important information that will help you out when you are uh, working on OBU projects. So this is how the data should be evaluated or analyzed. Okay, I'm just looking into topic number 4, topic number 5, and topic number 8. All of these topic areas would remain the same, but we need to understand how you can evaluate your aspect. So topic number 4 is related to a company financial analysis that has poorly performed in the past 3 years. So your strategic analysis, that is named as business analysis, that includes either PEST model or Porter 5 forces model. Again, if you want to check the strategic analysis within internal external organization, then you can apply SWOT, value chain, or business canvas models. These are few of the models those are provided by the Oxford Brookes University, right? Normally, students prefer to use either PESTEL model or and SWOT model, PESTEL and SWOT model, or Porter 5 forces model and SWOT model. Again, you can combine any of the two models, but this is an example provided by the OBU team that helps students to evaluate their to complete their project successfully. Financial analysis should be done with ratio analysis or any other relevant KPIs that you consider important, while making sure that these are the indicators that should be applied when I'm evaluating the performance of the company. Same rules applies to topic 5, and same rules or same criteria should be provided for topic number 8. Now you can see for rest of the topics, there are certain other aspects that you need to consider, right? So for every topic area, OBU examiner has provided you with certain additional information that help you pass your exam. Now, with all these aspects, I'm just going to look into one more thing. I'll be sharing with you guys that how we will be looking into the project details. The most important topic is so we have already discussed that we have actually 5 files that we need to complete in our topic here. So number 1 file is your Excel file. So in this Excel file, you need to create the financials of the company, financial statements of a company that you have initiated your project. For example, it's Tesla company. So you need to provide the financial statements of Tesla company, or you need to update the financial statement of Tesla company from its published financial statements into the Excel file, right? Published financial statements should be reported back into the Excel file. So once you are done with the Excel file, this Excel file, you need to ensure that you are providing at least 5 financial statements. Oh, sorry, you need to, 5 files are there. We need to update 4 annual financial statements in this Excel sheet. Why? For example, the topic area requires you to update to analyze 3 years. For example, if I'm discussing about Tesla's financials, so it's 2023. If I'm going to evaluate last 3 years, that includes 2023, 2022, and 2021. These 3 years are required by OBU, but you should be including 1 additional year in order to ensure that you can analyze this 2021 year. If you are evaluating 2021 year end, how you can evaluate if you don't have a comparative data, right? So for the analysis of 2021, we need another year, 2020. Okay. The next aspect that you need to consider is you have to evaluate, or you have to include most of the time, not always, most of the time, you need to include just statement of financial position, the balance sheet, and statement of comprehensive income. On top of it, if you have updated some additional data, that means you might have taken out some, or you might have selected some KPIs that includes data from any disclosure notes, then you have to have mentioned, or you have to have extract those disclosure notes from the published financial statements of the company into your Excel sheet, in order to ensure that you are actually gathering all the data that is required for the analysis within your Excel sheet. So this Excel sheet is really important for you. You need to understand that this Excel sheet is of real importance, because this is the very starting point for you guys when you are updating your Oxford Brookes University project. Okay. Once you are done with extracting statement of financial position and a statement of comprehensive income, along with any additional notes, right? You need to update, or you need to update competitive companies data as well. Competitive company might include, suppose I would say it's you can say it's Mercedes or it's BMW. So you have selected competitive company BMW against Tesla. Okay, now you need to ensure that for the competitor company, you should be including either a single year end, that is, you can only compare 2023 of the company with the main company, 2023. So once you have evaluated 2023 competitor company, BMW's financials, you need to select another, or you need to update 2022 year end to ensure that you will be evaluating 2023 financials in comparison to 2022 financials. So This is just for the comparative purpose, but you have to evaluate or you have to compare 2023 of BMW with 2023 of Tesla to ensure that which company is better performing in this year. The other idea is you can also consider 3 years of competitor, and you can compare main company and competitor company on year-over-year basis. So this is another idea for you. So you can either select a single year of the competitor company or 3 years of the competitor company in your financial statements. It's up to you. ये सेशन एंड हो रहा है, मैं दूसरी वीडियो में कनेक्ट करूंगा, तो जहां से मैंने वो 3 years छोड़े हैं, जहां एंड किया था, आपने उसके साथ उसको कनेक्ट कर देना, ठीक है? सो मैं उसको स्टार्ट करूं दूसरी सेशन को, नॉट श्योर ये क्यों। once you are done with the 3 years data or 1 year data of your competitor company, next thing is you need to calculate ratios, right? So these ratios should be calculated for main company as well as for competitor company. So for both companies, you have to calculate these ratios. Once these ratios have been calculated, so before going into it, the ratios you are going to calculate should be at a minimum of 10 ratios from 4 different grades, that is profitability, liquidity, solvency, and investors. So in the profitability aspect, you might be calculating revenue growth or net profit margin ratio or gross profit margin or operating profit margin or return on capital employed or many other matrices that can be used for profitability analysis. Under the head liquidity, you might be looking into current ratio or acid test ratio. So these are the 2 ratios that you can use for the short-term liquidity position of the company. And in this way, you can calculate how these ratios actually works. Okay. Under solvency head, you might be able to calculate debt to equity ratio or debt to total assets ratio or interest cover ratio. So these are again among the few ratios you can calculate. And investors, under the head investor ratio, you might be able to calculate earning per share, dividend per share. It should be dividend per share, apologies. So dividend per share or price earning ratio, earning yields, dividend yields. Oh, these are different multiple aspects or matrices that you can use when you are calculating the ratios. Okay, and once you are done with the ratio calculation, your Excel sheet is completed. Now you need to ensure one thing. We have already discussed 10 ratios you are calculating, a minimum, and the maximum you can choose 12 ratios. Because we have a word count limit for research analysis project, we cannot go beyond 7,500 words in the word file that we'll be looking into in the file in the next part. But right now, within this Excel sheet, you must ensure one thing, that you have updated the data in a way that would be helpful for you when you are working on your ref file. Rather, it happens that you have updated like 20 ratios, calculated 20 ratios in your Excel sheet, and once you are working on your RAV file, you are not even in a position to complete your analysis for these 20 ratios, because such analysis won't be much helpful. So a minimum of 10 ratios and a maximum of 12 ratios, right? And if you think that you are going to explain in much details about the ratios, then you might be looking into 9 ratios, but I won't recommend these 9 ratios. That you should be calculate you were calculating 9 ratios and you are interpreting those 9 ratios. Normally, I won't recommend, but if you went into way much details about the ratios, then you can consider these 9 ratios. But again, you need to ensure that you have created a balance among these heads. For example, if you're considering 9 ratios, then you should be considering 3 ratios from profitability matrices, 2 liquidity ratios, 2 solvency ratios, and 2 investor ratios. So that totals actually 9 ratios, right? But again, you have to have considered that you are creating the balance of the ratios when you are calculating it. Okay, now let's move to the next sheet, that is the Excel, the Word sheet, and that is the RAV file, what we named it, RAV file. Okay, let's look into the RAV file. Now, I hope this file is visible. Okay, let's start. The second file that we will be working on it is the RAV file, and what this RAV file actually stands for, let's see, Research Analysis Project. Research Analysis Project, or this is the report that you are actually creating. Now, one thing here, we have already understood that we have created an Excel file, right? And now we are going to create a Word file in this case. Now, within this Word file, we have to ensure that there are 3 basic topic areas that we will be covering. Three chapters are there that we were updating into it. And remember one thing, once you are done with this RAV file, your project is almost full. I'm going to discuss with you how you're going to update the Howard Angela referencing style. But once you have created this RAV file, the first task is you need to update your referencing style. So under this head references, you'll find out this citation and bibliography section, from where styles, manage sources and styles. In this style section, you need to select this Howard Angela 2008. So this should be selected in the very first instance once you have created your file. This will help you out once you are updating your references. So later we'll be discussing how these references should be updated, right? But right now, I'm going into the topic area once again. So there are 3 chapters. Chapter number 1 is related to chapter 1 of this report is actually related to the background. Background means you must be telling the examiner that how you eventually launched into Oxford Brookes University degree program. Then this background was actually something, how you have opted this, how you came to know about this program, and why you are opting this program. So that this is just a 1 paragraph in which you are telling about yourself or how you actually opted for this program. Then in chapter 1, you must be telling how you find topic to be helpful, topic, whatever topic you have selected. So what were the reasons behind why you have selected this topic, right? Okay, once you have mentioned this, then you need to tell the examiner which company you have selected, or which company or a business sector, right, you have selected, and why you have selected. So this is something, a basic idea to the examiner, how you have done your research. Then you need to mention research objectives. Research objective means once you're working on this research report, what are the main areas of or aspects that you are focusing on, and you want to achieve those targets, those uh, set criteria you want to achieve, or what is this research all about, and at the end of this research, what you are going to establish. Those are something objectives means, right? Okay, once you have selected the research objectives, you need to ensure that you are creating research questions. So these research questions are then based on these research objectives. Now here are a few things that you can evaluate, right? Okay, for example, if you're looking into topic number 5, remember topic number 5 is the extraordinarily or extremely well performance of the company. So you have selected a company, for example, Tesla, and you are mentioning that Tesla's objective is, I will be evaluating the financial performance of Tesla company over the past years and evaluate how well the company had performed, how the company had outperformed its competitor. That's something the objective is. Or evaluate the exceptional performance of the company. Evaluate the exceptional financial position of the company. Evaluate how the company had or the company had outperformed the business sector or its competitors, right? So this is something you would consider about objectives and questions. So topic number 5, once you are looking into objectives and questions, you need to relate these objectives and questions with the topic areas. So these should not be standalone. For example, if you are looking into topic number 4, so remember topic number 4 is about the poor performance of the company. So in topic number 4, you should be considering a company which is not an outperforming company, the company which has performed way poorly within the business sector in last 2 years. So your objectives and research question should be in that way, that you will be evaluating what are the factors that contributed towards the poor performance of the company. Objectives, financial objectives, you can say. What are the financial decisions made by the company that results in poor performing of the company, right? So once you are done with this, you need to mention what was your overall research approach. So overall research approach simply means what approach you have opted for when you are continuing with this project, right? So in this research approach, you would be mentioning that how you selected the topic area, how you have selected the company, what are the factors that contributed once you have selected the company. Those are actually mentioned in your chapter 1 section, but here you need to summarize the whole process of your research, the whole process. That is, you have started searching for the mentor, and you have discussed with the mentor about your interest areas, and then you have actually decided to start with topic number 5, and for that matter, and afterwards you have selected a company and you have extracted the financials of the company into the Excel sheet, and you have calculated the ratios, and then you have started working on your research analysis project. where you have actually demonstrated the topic areas in chapter number 1, and then you have explained the formulas or ratios or the business models you are going to apply for this research project in the chapter number 2, and then you have actually done your research within the chapter 3 of the research report to complete your research analysis project. So this overall research approach is actually related to your idea of doing things, right? Okay, and then once you are done with your chapter number 1, then you need to start chapter number 2. So chapter number 2 is actually related to the information gathering and your application of the business models and application, you can say, and application of business models and financials, right? And financial analysis or ratio analysis, whatever you think more suitable. In chapter number 2, you would be explaining what is information or difference between information and data. That's important to understand difference between information and data, because data is some raw form and information is once the data is processed that give you a valuable understanding of a subject matter, then that data would become the information after processing it, right? So then you can explain what are primary and secondary source of information, secondary sources of information. So these secondary and primary source of information are important with respect to your topic areas. You remember we have already discussed topic 1, 2, and 3, where you are required to update the primary data because secondary data was not been part of this specific understanding, right? So we consider the information and data aspects as well. So once you are done with the primary and secondary data, you will be now explaining how the business models and the financial analysis would be done. What business model application or tools you will be using to evaluate the business performance of the company. For example, you would be using SWOT model, or you would be using BEST model, right? But in chapter number 2, you should only be explaining what is a BEST model and what is a SWOT model. You're not actually applying SWOT or BEST model in chapter number 2. You are just explaining the theoretical understanding of SWOT and BEST model. You will be explaining what are the limitations of both of these two models separately. SWOT model, what SWOT model stands for, what were strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. A simple understanding, objective understanding, and what are the limitations of SWOT model, right? Then you need to explain the PESTEL model or a PEST model, and what P stands for, political, economic, social, and technological factors. What are these factors, and what are the limitations of PEST? Once you're done with this theoretical aspect, you're not actually applying PEST or SWOT model to the Tesla company. Right now, we are considering Tesla company as our major company, right? Then you would be explaining the financial analysis. Now, in this financial analysis, you should be explaining, or you should be mentioning the theoretical aspects of the ratios that you just have calculated in your Excel sheet. You have calculated 9 to 12 ratios, and whatever ratios you have calculated in your Excel sheet, you should be explaining those ratios within the chapter 2. So in this chapter 2, you are not applying or you are not evaluating how these ratios have been calculated or how these ratios have been analyzed for Tesla. You are just explaining like gross profit is, it should be calculated using gross profit of the company dividing by its sales revenue multiplied by 100. This gross profit margin ratio actually tells how the company has turned its sales into the profit for the company after deducting the cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is something that was directly used for the production of the sales units, right? Or the production or the total production cost of the units the company is going to sell, products or services. So this is some little explanation of gross profit margin ratio, right? So you're not going into the details that how Tesla has managed its gross profit. That's not the topic area as of now. So financial analysis, once you're done, here important thing is, as we have already discussed, for this RAP project we have 7,500 word counts. So it's very critical for us to use the word count wisely. So in chapter number 1, I would recommend you must only be using 1,000 words. That's the maximum limit. So you should be ensuring that 900 words to 1,000 word is a limit for you for chapter number 1. So you are not going beyond the 1,000 word count limit. Then in chapter number 2, you should be considering that within this chapter, you should only be ensuring that maximum of 1,800 to 2,000 word. You won't go beyond this. So if you can sum up chapter 1 and chapter 2, so you have around, I would say, you have around 2,500 words or 2,800 word count would have been already done, set it for the company. For example, I would say you might have a max of, you have used for 3,000 word count. You have maximum utilized 3,000 word count. Also, it's 3,000 word count you have utilized in this section. So a total of, out of 7,500 word count, you are left with 4,500 words now that could be used in chapter number 3 of your research analysis project, right? So 4,500 words we are left with us. Now, and out of these 4,500 word counts, I'm going to give you breakout. So chapter 1 should not exceed 1,000 words. It's the max limit. Chapter number 2 should not exceed 2,000 word limit. This total 3,000. Now we are left with 4,500 word count for chapter number 3. So this is a overall bifurcation of the word count that we will use. In chapter number 3, you should be starting the chapter number 3 with the background of the company. So background of the company means what? The history of the company, Tesla, from where it originated and how it has improved. But this should not be more than 300 words. So you are left with 4,200 words, right? Right? Now, once you're done with the background, the second and most important thing here is you should be applying business model application. Remember, we have already explained what business model is in chapter number 2. In chapter number 3, we should be considering the business model application specific to the Tesla, right? Now, in chapter number 3, you should be explaining what SWOT or best model application actually applies to Tesla. What are the strengths of Tesla? What are the weaknesses of Tesla? What are the opportunities for Tesla? What are the threats for Tesla? And how these strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats had impacted or had an impact on the operations of Tesla. So it's not something on a standalone basis. In this chapter, you should actually be applying what had an impact on the Tesla company's operations. SWOT model and best model, right? Okay. Once again, the word count total for this section won't go beyond 1200 words. So you should be managing your business model analysis should be within the limit of 1200 word count. It should not go beyond 1200 word count. Once you are done with the business model analysis, then you'll be moving to financial analysis, right? Financial analysis means you should be applying the ratio analysis in this section. Ratio analysis. Here, one thing is important for you guys, right? Business model should be applied first to get a basic understanding about the business entity, right? Examiner most of the time focuses that business analysis should be done first to get a insight of the business, a better understanding of the business entity, and then you will be applying the business analysis. So that will help you out in conducting your business financial analysis once you are done with the business analysis, because you got a basic understanding of the operations of the company. Okay, within this financial analysis, if you recall, we are left with, I believe, how many word count we're left with? We are now left with 3,000 word counts, right? Now in 3,000 word counts, you should be applying this financial analysis or ratio analysis for Tesla company under the limit of with a word count of 2,500 words, right? Or I would say 2,600 words. That's more appropriate. 2,600 words. 2,600 words. Now you're left with just 400 words. In this financial analysis, you would be telling how you are done with the financial analysis of the company, right? Revenue growth, for example. So in this section, you should be providing or you should be explaining how this revenue growth happened achieved by Tesla. In this chapter number 3, financial analysis, you cannot just mention that the sales have grown from or the revenue has grown from 10% to 20% in this year. No. In this section, chapter number 3, you should be mentioning if the Tesla's revenue growth was 20% in this year, what were the factors those contributed in increase in this revenue? For example, the company might have increases the prices of the products, right? That have actually replicated the revenue growth. The company has changed its prices of the products, increased the products, or the company might have launched a new product that would become a hit for the company, and company have generated multiple folds of revenues from this specific. For example, model Y of the Tesla or any other model that is specific, which was very much favored or very much appreciated by the customers. So you need to mention those specific reasons in this section for revenue growth or whatever the ratio is, or for whatever the ratio you are applying. You should be telling them with the actual reasons. What were the reasons? Those. Okay. Then the next thing is the last part of this research analysis project is conclusion and recommendations. Conclusion means you should be explaining what you have researched in the above section, specifically chapter number 3. What was your conclusion based on your research analysis that whether the company has performed well or the company has not performed well or the company has poorly performed, right? So this conclusion or recommendation should be between 400 to 500 word count. Actually, you are left with just 400, but once you were doing your actual research project, you might have left with 500 word counts or more than that. So it's not the case that you are now completing the word count using this conclusion or recommendation section. That should not be the main idea, right? Main idea is you should be doing conclusion and recommendation in a better way. So I would recommend the conclusion and recommendation should not go beyond 400 to 500, right? It's just a max limit. Now, if you have some words extra left with you, then your project is of 7,500 words and you are done with just, I would say, 7,000 words. So you will be updating the word count in your chapter 3, the financial analysis or the business analysis section. More specifically, I would recommend normally that you should be preferring the financial analysis section. But again, it's not the case that you were just updating the financial analysis section and you are ignoring the rest of the section. That won't work anymore, right? So you should be making a balanced approach between the financial and the business analysis and the rest of it to get it passed. This balanced approach is something that I have actually explained it to you, that this is how you can break up your project, research analysis project, to ensure that this word count would be achieved in more effective way, right? Okay, if you are done with, once you're done with your research analysis project, your project is almost done. I'm going to give you an explain or idea that how you would be updating the references for the research analysis project. So let's see how we can update the references. So I'm going to mention just few things. Suppose this is Tesla company's 2023 annual report, right? This is one line, and you have traced out this line from any website, right? So how you can refer this website into your project. So let's see. I'm just trying to ensure that we will be looking into the site reference. Okay, this is one your file that I'll be sharing with you guys later on. But just to give you an idea how we can update the Tesla's financials. So Tesla's annual report 2023. So I'm going to research it. So annual report 2023 is always available from these investor relations reports. So this is the press release. Okay, so this would be the website to which you want to refer it. Okay, I am going to copy this address of the company and I'm moving to the sheet where I need to refer. This is what where a ref file where I need to refer that website, right? Okay, so to update this reference, I have already told you that once you are going to update your file, first thing is under the references section, you should be updating this style with Harvard Anglia, right? So if you're done with Harvard Anglia, insert citation is the caption from where you need to update the source. This is where you can add new source, right? Once you click this add new source, a dialog box will be opened in which there are different sections available. This type of source is something you should be applying. So right now, as we have website, so I'm using or I'm selecting this website from this drop down list. Under this website section, you have multiple other options available. So first thing is your URL, the link of this website. So this link was already copied. I think we have already copied this address. So you can paste this address. Just copy this address and paste in URL, right? Again, now who is the author of this this article or published by the company? Most of the time, this was already available on at here, the very first line section, or the very first item which was reported here. But in this case, I'm using the name Business Wire as the author, right? Business Wire. After you have updated this Business Wire, you should be updating the name of the web page. It's not the name of website, it's the name of web page. So the name of web page is this press release, or if you want to use it more specifically, this is Tesla releases fourth quarter annual and full year 2023 financial results. So this is something, a more appropriate web page name from where you have actually selected the data. So in this case, you can use either this press release or this Tesla releases fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial result. I believe this heading is, or this web page name is more appropriate. Rather, I'm mentioning Tesla website name. So it's not the website name, it's the web page name, which always differ whenever you are using or when you are gathering a different data from the same website. Year means in which year the company had reported this data, or the website, on this website this data was available. Most of the time this is available right after the name of the author of the website, right? So in this section, it's 2024. So you should not be considering the January 24 or any other month. So here you should be using 2024, right? This is the year. Then year assessed means in which year you have actually assessed this website. It's not the author had updated the data or the website has published this data. It's on what, in which year you, being a researcher, you have accessed that data. So we have accessed this data in 2024. In which month we have accessed? Suppose it's May, or June. So I would recommend June. And on what day? Suppose it's 10th, 15th, or 5 or 4, whatever, the month of June 2024. So this is how you need to update the data, or you need to fill out this Howard Angela referencing style within this dialog box. Once you're done with it, you just need to click OK. So once you have clicked it OK, you will find that you have already updated a reference. The reference should be reported in this way. Again, you can edit the citation. Edit citation means if you have referred a data from any book or any journal or the annual report of the company. So you need to mention the page of that specific book, article, or the annual report. So for that matter, you need to hit this edit citation, and you need to mention that page. For example, it's page number 30. So just page 30 and just click OK. Then you will find out this page number was already mentioned. But as of now, because this is not the website, or this is not the report, research report, or a book or an article, it's a website, so I'm not going to mention the page in this section. Again, if you have mistakenly updated the source, you have updated some data incorrectly in the source, you can use this edit source option, and you can edit any information available within this source. Then there is another section that's important to understand: convert citation to static text. Never ever do that. Never ever, because once you're going to click this one, it's no more, it's just like a text anymore if you are not able to update the citation from this section. So don't ever hit this button, convert citation to the static text, because we don't have any option to recall it back to the previous presentation. So don't hit this button. Update citation and bibliography is not something which is of your concern, but this is something that if you have updated, if you have used a source for different pages or for different interpretations you have done in different issues. So in one head, you might have updated the citation, but you have not updated in the rest of the section. So you can use this dialog or this drop down list, but normally it is of no use for in our case. So these are the two basic things whenever you're updating references we'll be using, right? Okay. So this is the whole thing that we need to apply for research analysis project, and we are done with it. Again, ensure one thing, you should be using these references. Okay. These references should be updated as much possible as you can. And most of the time, these references will be started updating from chapter 2 to on. You'll be starting updating these references from chapter 2 onward most of the time, but in chapter 1 even you can use, even in chapter 1 you can use, but in chapter 1 they have very limited scope. From chapter 2 you need to ensure that every information you are extracting you will be referring it. And most important thing is the information you are updating in your section in and you are referring it to from your any source. You should not be copying that information directly into your research analysis project, because that results into plagiarism or cheating section. So you should not be copying data directly from a source and pasting it into your research analysis project. You should be rewriting those ideas in your own words. OBU or Oxford University is not asking you to write everything on your own. They are asking you that you can refer analysis, or you can refer understanding from any website, and you can write down in the research analysis project in your own words, rather just copying and texting, pasting it in the research analysis project. So this is not enough, right? So you are done with your research analysis project. The third file that comes in is skill learning statements. This skill learning statement actually consists of 2000 words. 2000 words. And in these 2000 words, you should be explaining in two different questions what are the learnings you gained from this thesis. This is first question. That is, what is your learning? What you have learned new thing. You have learned time management. You have learned communication skills. You have learned Excel, Microsoft, PowerPoint skills. You have learned word presentation skills. You have learned a lot many other skills. Those will actually help you, right? Okay. Then the second question is within this, and again, this question does not exceed a minimum of 900 words and a maximum of 1100. So this is somehow a good bifurcation of your skill learning statement. That the question number 1, most of the time it go beyond 1000 words, so you can limit it to 1100 words. Question number 2 is how this thesis, how the research analysis project help you in future. So that means this research analysis project help you in future means that what are the aspects that's going to help you or what are the main ideas, or what are the main learning outcomes that you have achieved with research project that help. For example, Excel formulas or Excel workings will help you out in your future endeavors. The presentation you have learned, the communication you have learned, the presentation skills you have learned in from this OBU project will help you excel in future, right? So this is the main idea of skill learning statement. Again, this should not be less than 900 words. Again, OBU project will help you gain the opportunities, will help you make more competitive, and because of this prestigious university qualification, it would be far more helpful for me to secure good jobs, or you might have a plan to pursue your masters and further qualification. So this OB project will provide you a, you can say, a base to excel further in your qualification. So this is something you would be mentioning in your skill learning stream. Now, your fourth file would be a PowerPoint presentation. PowerPoint presentation is, you can say, a summary of file 2 that we have discussed, of file 2, I would say, or the research analysis report, RAP, the research analysis project file. Okay, research analysis project file, you remember this was second file we were applying, second file, or which was the Word file, in which we have updated around 7,500 words. So PowerPoint presentation is actually summary of that file, right? So you need to update a maximum of 15 or 16, you can say 16 slides in that section, no more than that. A minimum of 13 slides, which I think normally I won't think this is enough, but maximum of 16 slides or 17, or might be 18 depending upon the analysis you have done. So I would recommend a maximum of 18 files and a minimum of 14 files, minimum of 14 slides, apologies, 14 slides. Your presentation should not be less than 14 slides, and it should not go beyond that 18 slides. Normally 16 slides is enough for your PowerPoint presentation. But one thing you might have remembered, that I have told you earlier, that once you are done with your RAF file, your project is done. These are something outcomes of your research analysis project, that file as well. And then the last file that is named as the reference file, the fifth file that is named as the reference file or references. This file is again created from the ref file, which is the second file, right? How you are going to create? It would be created very simply, as I had already updated one section. So you will be going to the reference file, reference section, reference tab. Under the reference tab, you would be using this bibliography, and you need to click any one of that. This references of bibliography. You can see there is just one reference that we have already updated. There is just one reference. There's quarterly report, financial results online available, Tesla financials, fourth quarter 2023. You can see this YRB. So this file, this references file, is just one click away. Within at the end of your RAF file, you should be ensure that your cursor was somewhere at the end of your RAF file, and then you will be using this section, references, bibliography, and extract this bibliography at the end of your RAF file, and the whole references will be extracted. You need to select those references from this file, from the RAF file. How you can select it? Just click this, And while clicking these three dots, the whole section was selected. Then you need to hit Control X, cut this section, and paste in the references file or bibliography. So your project is done. So this is how your project would be completed once you're updating your data for Oxford Brookes University. So these are the whole files you require. Again, few things that I want to share with you. The last few things, those were something that we need to ensure. Company selection criteria we have already discussed. So how your mentor is there to help. So mentor for the project is actually to give you a guidance. He's not there to help you out. He is there to guide you on how you can approach the project. The whole thing that I have discussed is basically the idea of the Oxford University mentor, right? He'll provide you the basic understanding of formatting, like how you can update your formattings, then Howard Angela referencing style, and what is its importance, table of contents, how we can create table of contents within the report section, research analysis report, and the skill learning statement, and how we can update the graphs in the Excel sheet, and how the presentation would be more presentable. These are some areas where mentor is going to help you out, is going to guide you. That's it. He's not there to make sure that he's going to give you any idea that, or he's going to help you out in completing your project. He's just there to guide you that how you can better uh, complete your research report, or how you can better do your researching skills, or how you can better improve your researching skills. He can just give you the ideas how the researching skills can be improved, or how you can better make use of the resources available to you online, or the articles, or the books, or the research reports. So those were the main ideas, or those are the main areas where mentor is actually giving you the guidance, right? Thank you so very much, everyone. And again, these are the contact details available for you if you want to opt in for Oxford University mentorship program. And if you want to look into few other you can say sources, so this is the website of Oxford Brookes University, over which you'll find out a lot many further information about Oxford Brookes University. And if you have any further question or concern, do let me know. You will find out information pack, eligibility criteria. You can find out the mentor, what are the brusaries. Brusaries means what are the financial support available to you guys. Oxford Brookes University do provide financial support to the students, right? But in terms of helping you introducing the fee structure for your Oxford University, then there are certain webinars and materials available. Project submission guidelines are also provided, documentation and graduation summaries. All these basic details that we have discussed were already available in this section. So this again is helpful for you. But again, if you need any further information or guidance, you guys are more than welcome to approach on the contact details I've already shared with you guys in my last presentation. This is the section, these are the contact details of VIFHE where you can approach and you can ask for further guidance. Thank you so very much, everyone. Take care. We'll be meeting in the session when we have to look further into this aspect. Thank you. Take care. Bye.